Hi, everyone. I'm struggle streaming already. Can y'all hear me? I'm struggle streaming already. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me all right? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Okay. This is an impromptu session because I want to shout out. I got to do the announcements, and we're not having cocktails. It's a little early, but I like the intro until Miss Mickey Red does me another intro for the impromptu. Thank you so much. Let me get some greetings and salutations. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. RM, what's up? Oh, you say hi to me first. You did say hi to me first. Listen. Oh, and thank you already, Mr. Bennett, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Whew. We're gonna get into some good stuff. And I want the morning announcements. I got to give a shout out to my truckers, my husband, who's out on these highways and byways, and all those truckers that are out there. Please be safe. They are providing us goods and services that we would not have. So shout out to them. Um, Shout out to Mickey Red Creates. She's doing my thumbnails. She's doing my intros. She's doing my overlays. She's doing it all. She's helping me create a website. She is amazing. And I am so grateful to her, grateful for her. Hey, sister in law, Ashley Cooper Allen in the house. Hey, sister in law. Um, Shout out to my fruit. We're going to listen. Ooh, wee. When I say my fruit, that's Danielle. We're gonna we didn't do Ladies Legacy Chat last Saturday, but we're doing it this Saturday, and we're gonna have a special guest. Who, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. My father. Okay, my father, Mr. Allen. We're going to talk about some very interesting developments and how young women are presenting themselves, and we're going to get it from an OG player's perspective. Oh, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be definitely edutainment because my dad is a hoot. Okay. He is a hoot. Okay, so look, what prompted this conversation? Hey, listen, for real. What prompted this conversation? I have been wanting to do it for a little while, but kind of getting busy, distracting, get distracted. But what prompted me to do it is I watched. I don't know if you all are familiar with Ready to Love. I really don't watch it that much, but there was this one season I did, and I'm going to show parts of it. A young lady by the name of Symone. She got eliminated, but she shot her shot, and I didn't, she got eliminated, so didn't know what happened to her or to him. His name is Rashid. But a few months ago, I happened to notice that they have a YouTube channel, and they are critiquing and reviewing subsequent episodes of Ready to Love and giving their 2 cents. Well, long story short, after the show was over, they connected and they're a couple, and they've been together for over a year. So she shot her shot. What? And also, I had the privilege to call in to Security Boss's channel a couple of weeks ago. She and Colette from Over the Top were doing a discussion with JR Wisdom. And at some point in the conversation, Mr. Wisdom said that he thinks it's sexy when a woman, expresses interest, you know, and I think it's important because we already know that men are not approaching women like they used to in my day in the 70s and 80s. There's a myriad of reasons why, but the fact still remains. I think Lauren, and Lauren, if she's out there, forgive me if I misquote, But I think at some instance she had mentioned that she has shot her shot with, some gentlemen over over the course of time, and some men frowned upon that. But I think it's not the what, it's the way. And because I know Lauren is a lady, I'm sure, she presents herself as a lady, but we can make our interests known, but we're not going to be chasing you. And a man really doesn't want you to do that anyway. If he's interested in you, when you let him know you're interested, he will take it from there. Okay. Because I've been serving the kids the looks. Hey, I get it from my mama. So I'm going to ask you in the chat. No, before I ask you the question, y'all know my story. Me and Mr. Randolph, we met online on a dating site. I saw that he had looked at my profile, but he had not reached out. So when I saw who had looked at my profile, I went to go look at his. And he didn't have a whole lot there. He was, my husband is a man of few words, but he had this beautiful smile. Wow. Thank you, Sir Hale. Thank you. So he's a man of few words. Let's see. Block user. Yes. He's a man of few words, but he had enough to spark my interest. And he had this beautiful smile. So I just hit him with a hey there or hi there, something like that. 2 words. And he responded back pretty immediately. Within an hour or something like that. And we started chatting. So I shot my shot, you know? I shot my shot. And because he was interested, he replied and then began the dating. But I was talking to one of my YouTube nieces earlier today, and she was saying that I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that. And I said, I had to think about it. I've always been one, if I saw a man that I thought was attractive, I would go up to him and say, "Oh, you fine." I said, or I would say, "Did you know you're fine?" I would say, "Oh, you are really handsome. You are wearing that suit, sir." I just would. I've always been that way. But I've never met a stranger. And again, back in the day, choosing signals, a smile wins every time. A smile wins every time. Or if but things have changed. I get it. I get it. It is not the 80s and the 90s. It is the 2022s. So women, I'm gonna ask you, women only in the chat, I'm gonna start with you. Would you or have you shot your shot at meeting, whether it be online or approaching a gentleman in person? And have you done that? I'll wait for a moment. And while the women are chiming in, I'm going to ask you, men, has that happened for you? And what did you think of the woman when she did that? Okay, let's read a couple of answers here. What the funk? 3 whole. Listen. I know y'all too old to remember Robin Harris, but women's like he did a skit about women look for benefits. you know, gainfully employed. You understand me? Seriously. So men, has a woman, shot her shot. And I see, okay, let's see here. Hey, all right. I shoot my shot all net up in here. See, uh, yes, online, in person, a man better see them signals. You know, yes and no. My sister, okay, wait a minute. Where'd she go? My sister-in-law was here. Oh, she went up. She said I had to shoot my shot and married him. Sister-in-law, you know. But check this out. I let the interest be known, and he took the lead. So with that, I'm going to pause for a moment, and I'm going to fair use, fair use, fair use, and I've given credits in the description. I want to take a brief moment. Okay, we want people to be in control of their faculties. You know, we want people to be, because see, again, I'm sorry. That's it. Ladies, correct me if I'm wrong. If a woman is tipsy shooting a shot, I mean, I'm not inclined to. I wouldn't think a man would take that seriously. You know, I want to be in control of all of my faculties when I approach you. You know, and I think that sends a wrong message. You know, I'm old fashioned. Okay, let me pull up this video, fair use, and we're going to talk about for a moment. Let me share my screen. I hope y'all can hear it. I hope y'all can hear. We're gonna try. Y'all let me know if you can't. And then I'm still struggle streaming. Y'all know how I do. But I hope that you can.
Hey, busy? Got a minute? How are you doing? Good. What's going on? After last week's drama with Jay, I've been doing a lot of work. I feel like emotionally, I just shed a lot of layers, and I've really worked through my. I'm just working on being more vulnerable and open and asking for what I want. Okay. Right. I really like you, and I want to date with you. A real date. Wow, absolutely. I would love that. I've been wanting a date with you, like a real formal date. Okay. I'm like, I'm gonna believe you. I'm doing cartwheels right now. You don't even see it. So this is perfect time. Recently, Adriana developed chemistry and connection with Cal Fund. So I still have to explore my options as well. All right, I'm excited. Just let me know where and what you want me to wear. Well, let me get to work then. He said yes. All right, well, my husband. Yes. Okay. This was so easy. What have I been tripping about? What?
Okay. And they are a couple now. They are a couple now. She wasn't brash, or she wasn't, classless. You know, she wasn't. He wasn't. And he had been saying, he said, I wanted a date with you. Because I don't think they had gone out at all during the whole time. They are a couple now, and they do reviews on subsequent episodes of Ready to Love. I think they, posted they've gone on trips. I think it is absolutely the cutest. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And have done it. Have done it. Yeah. This is key. This is key, ladies. A woman can approach, but she just can't be aggressive with it. Intentional, yes. Aggressive, no. All in the delivery. Listen, check this out. You notice, I want you to hear this. You notice she said, tell me what to wear, and something to that effect. She didn't plan it. She just let him know that she was interested in going out on a real date with him or have an opportunity, and he planned it. Okay? How about that? How about that? Well, Mr. Randolph, Um, we had conversations when we connected, and we did a couple of FaceTimes before we actually met in person for our first date. Now, we had planned dinner and a movie. He had planned dinner and a movie because I wanted to keep it simple. I don't believe, and I want y'all to hear me, youngins, women and men. Don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. Dinner and a movie. Now, during the conversations, the movie we went to see was Equalizer 2, Denzel Washington. I already told you about my bubble guts. Do y'all remember the story about the bubble guts? Do y'all remember? Put a one in the chat for those who remember the story about the bubble guts, which was our first date. So, yeah, it was like that. So, um, our first date was dinner and a movie. We had conversations, and I knew that he was health conscious. Yeah, I know, Courtney. Yes, it was bad. So I knew that he was health conscious. He had picked the movie, he picked where we were gonna go. He asked, what I like to eat. I'm flexible, but I remember during our conversations that he, like organic hamburgers and stuff like that. So it just so happened there was a burger place that had organic not horse fed, Jesus, grass fed Angus burgers. So I suggested that. He thought it was a wonderful idea, and we had a great time. The first date. Kept it simple. When I say don't play yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's unrealistic, and it's how shall I say? You're using people if you require them to take you out to some fancy smancy restaurant or whatever, because you know men don't lead with that. And I done said it once, I'll say it again. If you take the woman somewhere, I mean, there are different places you take it, parks, whatever. If you choose a place and a woman turns her nose up at that, she ain't the one. It don't have to be, you know, even my husband, there's nothing wrong with Applebee's. If he would have said to do it, if we were to go on there, I would have been okay because I would try to get to know him. Seriously. But again, I know I'm old school. But if I would have turned my nose up at a dinner at a movie, I wouldn't have gone to these. I would have missed out on all the things that followed. Shall I say? All the things that followed. I would have missed out. Don't play yourself. Men, don't play yourselves. And again, it speaks to the woman if that is all she's interested in. Don't let her pick the restaurant. No, 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 no. Because again, she's leading. Because I trust y'all. I trust y'all. Everybody ain't got one. But the ones that do, I trust y'all and I love you. Seriously. Hey, hey. But make your intentions known. But don't take the lead. I'll give you an example. I told y'all, well, Danielle told you how she would see, I was showing her how I dominated in relationships, okay? There was a relationship, a 4-year relationship. And my best friend used to say the way a relationship starts is the way it's going to be and probably the way it's going to end, if it ends. A guy I dated in Virginia, really nice guy. I met him because he was actually working on my house. I was having my house remodeled, I'm like, oh, he cute. And I shot my shot. Okay. And I said, hey, well, actually, what it was, I told the contractor. Okay. And the contractor told him that I thought he was cute and I was interested. One of the things that intrigued me is that once he knew the information, he did not approach me at all until after his work on my house was done. And he said that, you know, he wanted to keep business business, personal personal. But as soon as the business was over, he made it, that I had let my intentions were known that I was interested. He obviously was interested and took me up on it after the work was done. Well, here's the problem with that though. I planned where we were going. Okay. I planned where we were going. And from the very first date to all of our dates, all of our outings, I planned them. Yeah. So, and when it got to be problematic for me, because it did, I said, why don't you, plan? Why don't you plan? I don't care if we have a picnic in the backyard, go for a walk on the beach. Go get some ice cream. It didn't, but I had, I had taken the lead, and he said that, he didn't know what I would like. And I'm like, I don't care. But you see, unbeknownst to me, I thought I was doing something good, but I was taking the lead from the onset. If I would have done like Symone and said, I'm glad you're interested, just tell me what to wear and I'll be, and what time and what to wear. That's how I should have done it. And for the 4 years we dated, I led everything. And it's kind of like what they said, if you are an alpha female or a more assertive female, you have a tendency to attract more passive men. And that'll be okay at first. At first, maybe, but it will wear off after a while. And then I didn't realize it at the time, but I had started to lose respect. I cared about him and loved him, but it was like I had to do everything. So, yes, make your intentions known, but then let the man be the man to take the lead. Let's look at some comments here. Okay. Let me look at some comments here. You would think you would like take. Listen, I thought I did. But but there are ways. There are ways. But again, I didn't know I was getting in my own way. But I say, especially for the first date, let the man lead. You know, yeah. Let's try. Yeah. And Danielle said that and that was the longest relationship I had had in a long time. But what she saw, how did I show my attention to my husband? Again, we were online. It was funny because we had both been online maybe about 2 weeks at the time. Plenty of fish, I know, but neither one of us knew. Only thing we knew was free, so that's probably why we went on it. But anyway, I just said, "Hey there." And here's another thing. In my profile, I think I put or something like that. I never responded to when a man would send me a wink or something like that. I'm like, no, 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 no. I said hi there and maybe a couple of 3 words, but I typed something. I typed something. Don't, and I would say, don't send me that. I would put in my don't send me a wink. Don't send me don't none of that. And they did. I just didn't respond to them. Interestingly enough, my husband said the same thing. He didn't tell women not to do that, but because it doesn't take anything to do a wink. I mean, that's not really showing interest to me. But I said basically I said hello first, even though it was an online environment. I said hello first. He reciprocated. We start having conversations. Listen, and there's another thing I'm gonna tell y'all, men and women. And the reason why I'm saying this is because young people do it and old people do it too. If the only conversation you having is via text or DMs, that's not no. Mm-mm. And that's another thing, expectations. But that's a whole nother conversation. But early on, when we were trying to figure each other out, how do you like to communicate? Because this is how I communicate. A text, here and there, whatever. But I don't have conversations via text. I spell out my words, you know, but I prefer to hear your voice. So early, and when he knew that, but again, he had shared with me how some women would just send texts, and I mean these long dissertations via text. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to drop the link, and we're just going to have a discussion. I would love for you to chime in. So that's how I got my husband's attention, and I've shared this before too. When even though he had looked at my profile and he liked it, and he put me in his favorites, so he later told me he didn't reach out to me. So I asked him, "Why didn't you?" And he said that he didn't reach out to me because he didn't think that I would be interested in a blue collar truck driver, because I had listed all my stuff that I thought was attractive, degrees and military positions and all that kind of stuff. So had I not shot my shot with the hi there, he would have passed me right on by. And that's, even though it's online, the same happens, I think, in um out in the public. And I know a lot of times now people are meeting people. People are meeting people on Facebook. People are meeting people in all areas. Hey, Sunroar. Hey. People are meeting people in all areas, but people are getting connected via Facebook groups or group meetups. But sometimes, and I know it's tough because if you see somebody, you may want to go up to them and talk to them, but you're not sure if they're married or not, or if they have a relationship. Well, if they tell you that, that's a good thing, because at least they're honest. But either way, it's a risk. And depending on what you want, it's a risk worth taking. Exactly. I almost missed out on my blessing. And check this out. Me and Mr. Randolph will be together 4 years in July. And I was talking, he said, "It's been almost 4 years." I said, "I know, it don't even seem like it, do it?" It don't. His birthday is on Valentine's Day. I call him my everyday Valentine. So let me see here. Well, I wasn't sure what it was, but again, I think we both went on it because it was free, you know. But like RM said, I almost shot myself in the foot. If you and several people I know who've gotten together, they've met on Facebook groups. And so again, now, how you meet people is different. But it's a risk. And depending on what you want, it's a risk worth taking. So I think I'm going to open up the lines and see who wants to chat with me. Okay, see, listen. Hey, Monique, I was just thinking about you because I want to do a show with you our soror, Miss Robinson, another soror, and another OU alum, because y'all met your husbands when we were at OU. So I wanna get y'all on there because you all have been. You see here, I've been with my 20. Listen, met in college. I was there. So yeah. So that's gonna be coming. I want to do, because again, y'all met your husbands in college. Y'all been together over 20 years. Talk about the growth from then to now, because brother Bruner, he said he would tell me your picker is off, sis, and he was right. But I got the right one now, honey. But part of it, I was trying to run things, trying to run things. And listen, my sister-in-law, they'll be married 5 years in September. They had been together, I think, less than 6 months before they got married. You heard her say she shot her shot. So what you gonna do? Now don't be no fool. You understand me? But like Symone, I'm tell you, and Monique can attest to it. She seen me. If I would, we would be out. I'm like, and I would look at this. I would see a guy that I would, that may be across the room, and I would just, walk by him and smile, or I would go up to him and compliment him, without being ratchet. There's a way. Okay, I done said I'm gonna do it now. I'm about to drop this link, and who wants to come and chat with me? Because, and men, I want to hear from you. What do you think, if you've experienced a woman who has, come at you? What did you think of her? Because some men think it's a bad thing, but J.R. Wisdom thought it was a sexy thing. You know, it's an attractive thing. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts and to tell me, you know, what you think. Now, did y'all say y'all knew the story of my bubble guts on our first on my first date? Did y'all say, listen, man, I had the bubble guts on our first date, and Mr. Randolph left his credit card at the restaurant after we ate. We were both messed up. We were both- okay, so here's what happened. It was during the summer. Our first date was July 20th. Okay, I love cherries. Okay, the Bing cherries. They were in the peak season. I was eating cherries like almost a half a bag a day. Okay, so we go to dinner, and we go to the burger place. Had a great time, great conversations. So we walk across the street to the movie theater. It's in the same little shopping center area. So we're getting ready to pay for the tickets, and he couldn't find his credit card. Now I knew he had the credit cards because he had just paid for dinner. But, he couldn't find it. He's looking around for it. So he said, I think I'm going to walk across the street and see if somebody turned it in. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is our first date. Lord, please let somebody turn this credit card, because I don't want him to think that I'm a jinx, because on our first date, he loses his credit card. So in the meantime, I go ahead and pay for the movie tickets, because I was thinking, okay, if the credit card is stolen or lost, we're going to try to salvage the evening anyway, and I'll just pay for the movie. So he comes back and he says that somebody turned his credit card in. I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. So he's getting ready to pay for the tickets, and I tell him, I said, oh, I already paid for them. So he looked at me. He said, that's not what we're doing. And he reached in his wallet and gave me the money back. I said, okay, so at least let me pay for the popcorn and drinks. So we did. So we go in a movie. We watching a movie. In the middle of the previews, all of a sudden, I'm hearing my stomach rumble. Okay, I'm hearing my stomach rumble. And so I'm thinking, okay, it'll pass. But then my stomach's starting to rumble more. I'm like, oh my God. And I say to myself, I'll be right back. So I go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, handle the business. I come back. The movie is progressing. About another 40 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour later, my stomach is rumbling again. And I said, this has never happened to me. This has never happened to me. So I said, I'll be right back. So I go to the bathroom again. Well, the culprit was those cherries that I had been eating earlier that day because they are high in fiber. So we make it through. So I get back and he tells me, what had been happening, what I caught, what I missed. So we salvaged the night. And so he walks me to my car. And I said, boy, this has been an interesting first date. And um, I said, maybe I guess we were both nervous because you forgot your credit card and I had the bubble guts. so, so we laughed about it. And then, he gave me this hug, this very tight, tight hug. Okay, listen, you should, girl, embarrassment. You understand me? Embarrassment. Embarrassment. So he hugged me, no kiss, okay? Very gentlemanly. Gave me a hug. Well, I didn't tell him per se, but he kind of figured what was going on because I had to run to the bathroom twice within an hour. And so he kind of figured what was going on. So we laughed about, yeah. I didn't go into detail, but I said, I had the bubble guts. Yeah. So what's the proper goodbye? A hug only, a kiss on the cheek, it depends. Well, I didn't want to be too forward, or he didn't want to be too forward. But you notice I let him lead. Now, because I was attracted to him, if he would have kissed me on the cheek or a peck on the lips, I would have been receptive to that. I would not have been receptive to the tongue down my throat. Not on the first date. No, 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 no. I wasn't. I wouldn't have been receptive to that at all. A hug, kiss on the cheek, even a peck on the lips, I would have been receptive to that. Not receptive to, that. But he hugged me so tight, I was uncomfortable. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm glad you asked. It wasn't uncomfortable because I felt it was inappropriate. It was uncomfortable because he was holding me so tight, I could hardly breathe. Like it was going to break me. So later, when we talked about it, when we started to go out, and I told him, how tight it was. And he said that was his way of letting me know that he wanted to see me again. And he didn't want it to be any doubt in my mind because he held me close. And he did. And he did. So, yeah. So that's how we came together. But none of this would have happened if I didn't shoot my shot. None of it. The subsequent date was not really a date, but I shared with you how he wanted to see me again. So that same weekend, he came by my house, and actually, he wanted to see me again. We didn't have time for a full date because he was getting ready to go back on the road. So I said, well, I'm going to the grocery store if you want to go with me to the to the grocery store. So he came, I gave him my address because I got a sense early on. And like I said, we had several conversations before we went on a date. And I felt comfortable with him. I didn't get my spidey senses weren't tingling. He was just, and ladies, I'm telling you, the same way he was then is the same way he is now. So I invited him to, I said, well, you can come with me to the grocery store. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Monique is growing y'all real. She's growing you. They've been together for 24 and a half years, married for 23. Listen, the first day with my husband, I called him to ask if he wanted to go see Soul Food. Took my shot. Listen. And the rest is history. The rest is history. Okay. So he accompanies me to the grocery store, and we're talking as I'm walking up and down the aisles. We're getting to know each other because that's the deal. That's the deal. It's about getting to know the other person. It's not about how much money you're gonna spend on me. Got me mad. Anyway, it's about getting to know the other person. So we were walking up and down the aisles, and we were talking because he had never been to Aldi's. I love Aldi's. I'm just saying. We get to the counter. The man proceeds to pay for my groceries. That was lovely. It was unexpected. And so we go home. He hugs me. Then we had a real kiss then. Yeah. You heard? All right. Let's look at the chat, see what we got here. You say shoot your shot or not your foot. Okay. Oh. But see, I'm checking you. You said your wife. Your wife. Change the letter and say your life with an L. How about that? How about that? Yeah. And y'all been married over 20 something years. Listen, and I'm still going to do that series or that show on people marriage and dating after 45 because I want you on there. I just haven't put together yet, but don't think I done forgot because I haven't. Listen, yeah, the real kiss on the second date. And it was a good one. She fed me day one. The next time she saw me, listen. Your wife. Your wife. So again, ladies, we can shoot our shot. We want the Bogart, strong arm, because a real man ain't gonna have it no way. No way. Nobody want to talk to me today? Yeah, we can shoot our shot. I already told Courtney Michelle I can't tell y'all what I'm gonna do for Mr. Randolph for his birthday because, yes. Okay, Mr. Rucker, first move prenup. We know we gonna expect that from you. If you would have came in with anything else that didn't have prenup in it, I would have said something's wrong with him. He must be sick. Okay. Okay, listen. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Now, and listen to me, ladies and gents. It's a risk either way. But let your interest be known. Don't chase nobody. I know there are other YouTubers that will say, you got to chase. I don't necessarily believe in that. Monique, Kevin says that the women need to be chasing the men. We all went to school together. I don't agree with that. Listen, listen. Monique is growing, y'all. Yes. Listen. Yes. 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 And I remember this. I forgot, but I remember now. Yes. Mr. Bruner had custody of his sister. So, yeah. There are people in this space that say, if a woman has a child, whatever. Well, here we're young, we're in our 20s, and he had a sister that he was raising. But Monique saw something in him. They worked through it. Courtney Michelle, the Renaissance Belle.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
You look beautiful, first and foremost. So let me tell you that. I love the hair and the outfit, the jewelry. You doing your thing right now.
I forgot to say this early on. This is in honor of the passing of fashion icon and influencer Andre Leon Talley.
Yes.
Who left his mark in the fashion industry. So I'm giving you a little, a little bit here, a little, there.
Yes, I see. You're doing your thing today.
So what are your thoughts about, shooting your shot and making your interests known?
Well, we had this conversation. So, I have no problem shooting a shot, doing a layup, slam dunking, honey, blindfold. I have no problems with it. Now, I'm definitely not chasing no man. Okay, I'm not doing that. But I don't see any problem with letting your interest be known, letting, particular guy, let him know that you're interested and like, hey, I see you, you see me. So I don't see anything wrong with that. And to be honest, I know the men are flattered, but I've never had it where someone was like, "Oh God, no, how dare you approach?" No, it's always been very positive. So I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I think we need to get out our comfort zone. A lot of us are scared of rejection.
A lot of it is because there you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Well,
and
honey,
believe you me, I've been rejected straight up.
Well, yeah, I think if here's the thing, everyone is not going to like you, and I would rather go ahead, and throw it out there and see if it comes back. But if it doesn't, move the hell on.
Right.
I'm not gonna be sitting there waiting. I wonder if he gone. What if? No. Look, man, I like you. You like me. Okay, let's do something about it.
Let's do this.
I'm a fan. So yeah, I'll shoot my shot now. Funny, I sent you a link that I did shoot my shot on air. Sure did.
Hey, for real though. For real though.
But it's like you just get to an age where all that little extra stuff just doesn't matter. And, I'm grateful being in my good 30s is that I have more self-confidence in myself and very self-assured. So I'm not scared and I'm okay. I can deal with the rejection. If you don't like me, that's fine. I don't take it as it's something wrong with me. It's just, I'm just not your type.
And you take the words out of my mouth. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, and I'm not going to say that I had never been there, but primarily in my younger years, I would shoot my shot. Either they were in a relationship or I just wasn't their flavor.
Right.
I would take it personal early on, but listen, you're just not their flavors. Because again, ladies, vice versa. Some men that, wanted to holler at you, it wasn't your flavor.
Right.
Because, like you said, everybody's not going to like you, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read this comment here. I think he says, I never did Lazy Lion. These panels made me realize why I am where I am, but it is what it is. I suspect Mama told me as a ploy, worked well, so no grandbabies. I'm assuming.
Hmm. That they never took a shot, that they were lazy, and that parents might have told them not to, and it worked because they don't have any grandkids. Is that what
Yeah,
you're getting?
yeah, that's what I was getting. That's what I'm assuming. But it is what it is. But listen, every day we above ground, we got an opportunity to change it.
Hello. Right.
You understand me? Seriously. Every day we above ground, we got an opportunity to change it.
Mm-hmm. And interesting, what they said, made me realize why I am where I am. Yeah, because you kept, not doing nothing about it. Flip it up. Approach someone. Slide into the little DM. How you doing? I seen them pictures looking nice. Try
Exactly.
something new. I mean, the worst thing someone can say is no, and then move on to the next.
Or say, I think, you're really handsome. You
Mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
don't say, ooh, you look delicious. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't say, don't do,
No, the little tongue emoji. Don't do that.
don't
Now you
do
can
that.
you can slide it in DM and be classy with it. You can definitely say, like you said, hi, I think that you're handsome, or your picture caught my attention. How are you? I wanted to introduce myself. Works. It works.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is tantamount or the equivalent of being in a club, being in the grocery store. You see somebody and you go up to them. But the difference is that it's not face to face, but you're still putting yourself out there. You got to get your skin a little tougher.
Mm-hmm. I
Skin a little
agree.
tougher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. So, yeah, I think that as women, and I understand you, we because we were raised like, they're supposed to approach you and they do that and they do that. Well, I think in these situations, okay to kind of flip the script. And no one is telling you to be the leader. It's just making it known because men don't know. They just as probably as nervous as you are. They scared of
Yeah.
rejection just as you are, and they're not mind readers. You
Right.
don't know, you maybe they're scared to talk to you because they feel like your husband said, that you was maybe out of his league,
Yep.
and men think that way, so why not? Throw it on out there, see what you catch, 'cause I will slide in a DM.
Reeling it in, honey.
Reel it in.
Let's see what Mickey Red say. In their day, they just wasn't. That just wasn't how you were doing things. Yeah, it isn't that they were telling you wrong per se. They just were experiencing, and it's true
Mhm.
because again, we think about the 50s and 60s. More chivalrous.
Right.
Okay, men were approaching women. Uh, and again, because you weren't considered a lady. See, back in those times, it was very important to be considered a lady. And a lady would not do that. Well, now
Mhm.
times have changed. We can still be a lady in how we do it.
Mhm.
But yeah, because
Right.
see, look, back in those days, the ratio from men to women, it was a lot of men to a woman. It's
Mhm.
reversed now.
Mhm.
It's reversed now, far as black men to black women.
Right.
And there are a lot more options, so we do. But I'm not saying to be thirsty.
Right. Like I said, it's always a way to do something. And again, your approach can be just as ladylike, very simplistic, or just something to spark a conversation. It doesn't even have to be anything flirtatious, but to kind of, test the water. You can send a message or approach and say, hey, what's a good one that, do you have the time? I tell you, one time I did. I dropped something on accident to see if he was gonna pick it up, and I was like, "Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. What's your name?" That worked too.
Yeah.
So that's it. You can be creative with it if you're scared. Throw something on the ground, see if he pick it up. Now, if he doesn't, just look at you foolish. Then that might not be the one for you.
Here's another one. You in the grocery store, you on the aisle, somebody checks up. So have you, I was thinking about getting those. Are those good?
There you go. Right. Spark up a conversation. It doesn't necessarily have to be what's going on with me and you, but a conversation. So there's a lot of ways to do it, but yeah, I'm a fan. I like this topic.
Let me tell you something. I've never met a stranger.
Mhm.
Even now, sometimes I'll go out and I go for my Papados, if y'all know what Papados is for my
Yeah.
DFW folks. I'll be sitting at the bar and I said, oh, that looks good. What is that?
Mhm.
What is that? I done talked to husbands and wives, just talking to people. They see my ring, so they know I'm not trying to holler at them, but I'm just
Right.
talking to people. And now you can do that too. I even before I was married, I would take myself out for lunch.
Yeah.
You got to eat.
Right.
And if I would see somebody out, a gentleman or whatever, and I'm
Mhm.
like, what is that? That looks good. I'm
Sparking up
just
the
saying.
conversation.
Vincent said, I appreciate the boldest. Listen,
Hey.
it's not the what, it's the how. And I'm gonna tell you, nothing is better if you can make somebody laugh.
Mhm. There you
I'm just
go.
saying, if you can make somebody laugh, the conversation is started.
Mhm.
So leave the elegance to the femmes and trifling to the to the only thing. Show enough. Show enough. Humor. I'm just telling you, Mr.
Mhm.
Randolph makes me laugh all the time. I said, you petty.
Yeah.
But he made me laugh early on. What you got, Courtney?
Well, I was thinking too, even when you do, approach or spark a conversation, I think that shows confidence, especially on a woman's part. So when Vincent said he likes the boldness from a black woman, yeah, that's sexy. It's self-confidence. I'm not scared. And it makes you approachable. I think a lot of times when men see us, one thing that I hear is you don't seem approachable and you don't. Well, flip it.
Yep.
You approach.
Yep.
Can't
You
get
make
that
a
comment if you're approaching.
you bring up a good point. Yesterday I had to go to the VA for some appointments.
Mhm.
They had me drinking some nasty stuff. But I was talking to everybody. I said, I got to drink. I was talking to the one nurse, male nurse. I said, I got to drink all of it.
Mhm.
Just talking. Then I went to have my CT scan done, and the one of the ladies was trying to be mean, trying to be nasty. Well, she
Mm.
wasn't trying to be nasty. She came off that way, but I flipped it around. I had her laughing before it was over.
Mhm.
Had her smiling.
Right.
We can do it. We
Yeah.
can do it.
And I've yet to hear any man say that he doesn't like it.
Speak on it.
I've never heard a man say, "A woman approached me, ew, yuck, pooey." I've never. So
But
yeah.
it, but do not. I don't think I have any of these in my chat because again, that's not our audience. Do
Mhm.
not walk. Hey, Zaddy. Ugh. Ugh.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Don't do
not.
it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna drop the link one more time to see if anybody else wants to come up before I call it a day.
Yeah,
But
well,
this
go
is just
ahead. I'll let you go. I just wanted to pop up and tell you that I love the topic. I totally agree. And Steph Curry with the shooting a shot for three.
okay. Talk to
All
you
right, bye,
later.
TJ. Bye.
Bye. Uh-oh. Got tips and ribs. Okay. I'm hungry. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't haze that. Ugh. Don't do it. So, like I said, this is pretty much an impromptu, but I thought about it because, you know, we got to put ourselves out there. And a lot of times it may not yield a relationship, but it may yield a friendship that could turn into a relationship. You heard my daughter say how, by happenstance, they were, her and my son in law were roommates, housemates, if you will. And you see what happened with that 5 years in, and now I got a grandbaby. Hey. So I've enjoyed this. I hope that you have. If you think it can be beneficial to anyone, please share it. Please share it. If you haven't already liked, please do. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I am having a great time, sharing what I know, some good stuff, some not so good stuff. But, hopefully it'll help somebody else. Hopefully it helps somebody else. Let me look at a couple more comments. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She approached her, saw him, and okay. With femininity, not ratchet. Seriously. And again, many men will find it attractive. Again, it's not the what, it's the how. And if they're not hitting you back, then move around to the next. Okay, so that concludes our chat for today. I'm thinking about some more stuff that I want to bring to you. I think, I have my cocktails and conversations on Monday and ladies legacy chat with my daughter on Saturday. And for you all who don't know, who came in late, we're going to me and my daughter are going to have a special guest this Saturday. It's going to be my father, the original OG, Cadillac J, Lack, you know, um, J, what y'all call him, Mr. Allen. But anyway, the original OG is going to be, I invited him because we're going to be talking about how these females, and I'm going to say females because they're not ladies, they're not acting like women. Some of them are acting like, well, many of them are acting like 304s. And we're going to get an OG's perspective on that on Saturday. We're going to change the time because my dad is in California, 2 hours behind. So we're going to change the time. I think we're going to start at 12:30 Central Time through 2:30. But it should be a really good chat. My dad is hilarious, but he's going to grow y'all. He's going to grow the youngins to what the haps is. That's my alarm. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I had fun. Y'all have a wonderful day. RM, would you go to would you hit me up on IG, please? Mosaic.tj Randolph. Would you send me a message on IG? Because I need to get at you. Okay. Yes. Okay. gonna grow them. He is going to grow y'all and hopefully help us all. But it's gonna be funny. Okay. Okay. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.